like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin TV. I'm Raymond, author of the Dolphin Wars series of books and ruler of the best pod in YouTube. Welcome to tonight's Surfside chat stream. As you know, Surfside chat is unscripted. I don't have a script. I just bring on somebody to just chat and have fun with. And tonight, you know him, you love him. Here is Clobberin Times. Hi, Mike.
Hey.
Hi, Clobberin. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me there. Good to see you. Good to see Sandra and all of our cool friends out there in the chat. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a great middle of the week here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Clobby and I are going to talk about comics and geek things. We're probably going to go through the whole gamut of things. But before we start, as always, if you like what we're doing here, if you love these interviews, if you love the fun that we have here, please like and subscribe. And if you know anybody out there who wants to be interviewed, who needs to be interviewed, please either give them my name or give them my email address, give them my name, or let me know who they are so we can interview them and welcome them to the chat. So let us welcome the chat who is here right now. We have that's starting to gather. Clobby, you're a big draw.
I doubt that, man. I doubt that, buddy.
Okay. We have as our... Okay. Like you, I like to recognize everybody who comes in. All right. So we have Legatus Legion I, our first in, last out of our wrenches. He's always here to open the door and always here to shut her down and throw people out who may cause problems. We have the Comic Relief Crusader. Hello, sir.
Yo.
We have
lost problems. There's a troublemaker right there for you.
I know. I know. We've got Carla Burton, the lovely lady from New Zealand. Carla Burton, hello.
Hey, always nice to have the ladies here.
Yeah, and we have in the background, keeping out in case we've got the buffering monster. We've got Sandra, my other half, our producer, the amazing one. How you doing, honey?
Hey, Sandra.
Yes, and of course, we can never forget our certain Ursine wrench. Snort Pupas! Snort.com. Welcome, Snort.
Snorting.
And then we have the amazing chat out there. We've got some people.
Yeah, Stuart Mitchell's here. Cool.
Yeah, Stuart Mitchell's here.
Hey, Stu.
Yeah. Hey, Stuart. We've got Brian Hepburn, a new person.
Hey, Brian.
Welcome, Brian.
That's
and please subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing here. We have Mr. CCTV. Hello, sir. How are you? Oh, we got Maddie's daddy here.
Yo, buddy.
Hi. How you doing, Maddie? Maddie's daddy. And how's the little one? we've got Stuart Murchill, as we mentioned. So we've got a nice little gathering here.
Yeah.
And so, as you know, Clobberin Times, he's a streaming monster. He is all over the place. He's got the Saturday night Star Treks, which is the best known of it. But he's got all sorts of other streaming stuff. How many programs have you actually got, Clob?
Well, today I'll be doing three. Two guests. One is an honored guest here with you, and very, very, very proud to be here with you. And then, of course, later, the usual comic book roundtable that I do with Loki on at least 3 or so Wednesday nights of the month. And then my Wednesday night show, as you know, at 9. And then tomorrow, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm honored to be on with the great channel. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Midnight's Edge After Dark with Tom over there. I'm over there at 6 Central over there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course the Clubhouse, as you may or may not know about, with Raquel and Mark on Thursday nights at 9 Central, and then actually for the past couple of weeks I've been on with our buddy Dadman at 7 Eastern your time. Our buddy Dadman Walking on his channel, talking NFL playoffs and stuff. We've been doing that. And then 8:30 Central my time later on Friday nights. That's the second show of Friday nights. I'm on with our buddy Nick Weiser for his comic shop talk. Right now we're all in the midst of reviewing the Infinity Gauntlet issue 5 this week.
Ooh.
Then there's Saturdays, of course, as you know, Saturday night Star Trek at 9. Yes. Of course, Monday nights is my Monday night Mark C Comics talk, but I'm also at the Geekery on my great buddy Mark D with the C's channel.
Wow.
On Sunday nights. So there's not a night I don't stream, and as I've said, a couple of nights where I do it multiple times.
You are one busy guy.
When it comes to streaming, anyway. I live in the streams. It's just one big long stream of a life there.
Okay.
Can be bad for your back after a while sitting there.
Oh, I know.
My terrible chair I have. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
I need a better chair.
There's times when I'm moderating Doomcock's channel. About 2 to 3 hours into it, I have to go onto my couch with a massaging pad.
Oh God, yeah, I can imagine. It's just depends on your chair. This chair's killing me.
Yeah. Luckily, during my streams on Saturday, it's not that bad.
That's good. Yeah.
So
got to take a break a little bit. Just depends on how long you do it. Now, some people don't. If you do like an hour and a half, it's not that big of a deal, even 2 maybe. But, some of these guys, and I've done the long streams, as you well know, gets a little long sometimes on the Saturday night. But,
yeah,
our buddy DC, shout out to our great friend Doomcock.
Yes.
I have no idea how he does these 5-hour ones, 6 hours. I mean, I've done a couple by myself, and it's not easy. I could not do it on a regular basis. I mean, when I do my solo streams, like the Monday Night Mark C, when I'm doing that by myself, or the Wednesday one, I'd like to at least get it under 2.5, maybe, and that's more doable. But when I have the Clubhouse, there's 3 of us. So one of us could take a break every now and then if we need to.
Yeah.
The Saturday night though, that's tougher. But at least there's 2 of us. When it's just you by yourself, if you're riding solo, man, the 3 and the 4 hour that.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I decided none of this solo crap.
You're better off, bud.
Have other people help out, and they are an amazing group of people, especially if you check out the Just Causes where we go bananas.
Yes, indeed. I've seen it.
All right, so we are going to talk comics, and we were just talking about what they are trying to do with the FF in the back room, and I really want to like the FF. They have been my go-to comic since I was knee-high to a flea. But it's like, even back in the day after Kirby got his run, and then they have been up and down.
Yeah, but at least they existed.
Yeah.
Until about somewhere into the early 2000s or somewhere up in there when or it was when Marvel became far more interested in movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd already realized that they dealt the rights, and after they took a shot at those two movies in 2005 and 7 and didn't do very well with them, and then the other Marvel properties that they did own in movies, somewhere around when those movies started to take off, the the Iron Man in that Marvel Cinematic Universe, and
Right.
the time FF was not a part of it, you noticed a shift in terms of even Marvel's publications. FF got ignored. They eventually got canceled. I don't mean canceled in cancel culture way. I mean, they just dropped their books. They started every time they would like release any kind of books talking about Marvel comics, for example, or Marvel would never promote them anymore because they knew that they couldn't turn them into a movie at that point, at least that they could control. So they gave up on the FF as a movie, and the other things like X-Men, and even though that they were making a lot of X-Men movies, and of course they started making those Marvel Universe movies, and they actually just completely faded into the background of the Marvel Universe when they are the flagship of the Marvel Universe. They are the first family in every sense of the word. They are the foundation on which the Marvel Universe was built. But like Marvel wasn't making any money on their movies, so they didn't care anymore. Sick,
and that's
sad,
and that's real sad. And just hearing rumors. I know there's nothing out there yet, but just hearing the rumors of them wanting to make the FF woke is making me cringe.
Oh boy, yeah, that's coming.
Yeah,
it's a good thing I don't care about what they do with the movies. It's a good thing it's not legitimate FF. At this point, Raymond, I'm just at the point when they announce whatever idiocy they're going to do, I'm going to laugh. There's no way they can aggravate me anymore. There's no way they can anger me or hurt me in any way. The FF, we both know we're not going to see the true FF on the screen. So, what is there left to do? Get angry? Why? Just going to laugh at him. I hope, since we know it's not going to be good anyway, I hope it's so ridiculous and atrocious that we could just laugh at it. And I mean it. I mean, I'm like, good. Burn. Let it burn.
Yeah, true. Legatus has a question, and this is what we do on our chats. You've been on here before, where we have the chat asking questions.
Sure.
And talking about comics, Legatus Legion I says, and the DC Universe. Yeah, we'll go there too. Especially if you're talking LSH. Long live the Legion. Are you disappointed that they did not announce a Legion of Superheroes movie for Chapter 1 of the Gun Era?
Disappointed is not the word I would use. I would use relieved, because it would be terrible. Because I have no faith in Gunn really, but even if I think he's made some good stuff, his Legion would be all. I'm not going to use the W word here, but it has to do with being consciousness or not. Let's put it like that. It would be terrible, just like their upcoming animated movie they made looks terrible, and their comics, their Legion comics, have been terrible. So at this point, whatever gets left alone, like if they don't have a character I love on there, and there you go, look, that's the word. Whatever they don't plan to do, I'm happy, because it's one less thing being destroyed by them.
Yeah.
Hate to be there. I hate it, but that's where we are.
And the Legion, I always wanted to see a Legion movie, but seeing how they did that, seeing how they did the Legion in Smallville, which I was not thrilled about what they did with them then. And then in Supergirl, it's just like,
no.
Now, the cartoon came close. The cartoon came close, but it still was.
I tried with the cartoon, dude. I mean, the episode of the Justice League Unlimited that had the Legion look fantastic. That's what I wanted to see. Then you get that cartoon, and God bless, James Tucker and all that stuff. But it just was still, again, many friends of mine who are Legion fans have said if you just get past certain things, it's really good. And, I absolutely believe you. And if you're capable as a Legion fan of doing that, more power to you. But I can't. And I watched a few, and it's Not that it's badly made. I just can't stand the designs. Some of the designs.
No.
I hate that they can't call him Superboy. I know that was a legal thing, so it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It just really agitates me. And I can't stand, for example, the way Brainiac 5 looks. Why does he have to be? Why does he have to look like a transformer? I mean, why does he have to look like with robot powers?
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate the way Timberwolf looked.
I didn't like Lightning Lad.
Lightning Lad. They all look terrible.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and it looked like an anime type look at this. Like, I really, really wanted to let myself be able to just enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'll once in a while I'll try to watch one. I'm like, I just can't do it. It's got too much for me. I got to have my Legion looking the way I want them. Yeah. And that way. And now they got this anime. Have you seen the trailer for the animated one coming up? The animated movie?
No.
Well, take a look at it and let me know what you think when they shoot. It's a trailer for one coming up that's coming out. So it's I don't know if it's based on the Bendis garbage or not, but
no,
I think it is, but I don't know. But it just it's got all when you see it, it's got all kind of R swaps. I won't say the word, swaps of things. It's just Monel looks terrible. I don't hate his costume. It looks like it's, by the way, it's called Legion of Superheroes. It looks like it's all about Kara. It's all about Supergirl.
Oh no.
So if I get a chance, I'll try to find you the trailer and send it to you. See what you think. I looked at it and I'm going, this is disappointing to me. Why? No.
Yeah, that just kind of gives me chills when you just said that. Hello, Joseph Dredd.
Hey,
another newcomer here.
Big Judge Dredd fan. Cool.
Yeah. I have not seen. Judge Dredd was one I never really got into. Probably because I just had other comic issues. But yeah.
I've been a Dredd fan for 40-something years. I love Judge Dredd. And that's his real name, Joseph. So see, this guy knows it.
Comic Relief Crusader says it was bad enough what they did to Jack's Eternals. I have no hope for a faithful FF. I will tell you this. I actually recently got it on Kindle, the original. I may have to look at it again because I was just like, eh.
What Eternals?
The Kirby's Eternals.
Yeah, back before that terrible movie came out, there was in total there's 20 issues if you count an annual. Mm-hmm. And Nick and a couple other friends, I think just Sean and Mark, we reviewed the comic right before the movie came out. Kirby's comic.
Yeah. I wish I would have seen it because maybe it would have. No, I know what you mean. Comic Relief. Yeah. I haven't seen the movie. I refuse to.
No, it's terrible.
My Marvel movies ended with the Endgame because it was
yeah.
And no, I stopped watching the Marvel movies. I was actually maybe thinking of looking at the Ant-Man and the Wasp one, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I like the first Ant-Man. The second one's just okay, but it's not that. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you got nothing better to do, but the comic is not all right. It's some of Jack's finest art for me. In other words, we reviewed it down as broke it down into it's a very interesting concept. None of these characters match. He was trying to sort of recapture a lot of what he did not get to finish with the Fourth World at DC.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting read. His characterization is not so great. Some of his dialogue is of course clunky. The stories are so, but interesting. But the art's some of his finest.
Yeah, the art was
of all of it. It's unreal. It's out. It's just mind-boggling how great the art is. At least in my opinion, as far as Kirby, I love his Bronze Age stuff. I mean, I love his Silver Age stuff, of course, but it's some of his most spectacular work. He really put so much into that art.
When I looked at it, I said, my first thought, and again, I got to read it again because, again, like you said, the scripting was kind of hard to follow, but it was like I looked at it and I said, "What is this? New Gods Red U or New Gods Phase 2?"
Pretty much, it was in a sense, yeah. It's he did. I mean, it's very actually. Some of the ideas are incredible behind it. Like he took a lot of stuff from mythology and expounded upon it in different ways. See, he was aggravated with that series because Marvel tried to put him in the Marvel universe, like they do everything. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't want it to be in the Marvel universe,
Right.
and so he left after like 19 issues in one annual.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some cool stuff, and it's good. It's an interesting read. But again, the art is just off the hook. It's all crazy Kirby. Some of it's most amazing. Yeah, if you're a Kirby fan, you know.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe Dredd says, I used to be a big Marvel and DC comic book fan, but they've destroyed my interest in comic books and not going to watch the new Disney Plus MCU. Yeah.
Good call. Very smart, Judge, because that's good judgment on the part of a judge there, because it's not worth it. I'm dumb enough to watch some of it now, but to review it, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll probably go back and maybe reread it again. Fortunately, I've got it in my Kindle. But I'll look at it again and see if. Usually, what I'll do is I'll go back and read them several times to see what I've missed on it.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Legata says Infinity War was the last production in the MCU for me.
Can't say I blame you, because Endgame's a mess. I mean, there's some great things in it. There's some really annoying things. Endgame might be the most extraordinary movie I've ever seen, because I've never seen a movie that had so many things for me to love and then so many things for me to hate clashing against each other. Like that scene, I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. And other scenes, I'm like, I hate that so much. Why would you do this? I mean, obviously, we've all seen movies that are uneven, or like, well, this was good, but then I hated this part. Or that's the most frustrating movie I've ever seen in my life. Endgame meaning, but Infinity War is extraordinary.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, it was. Let's see. Phantom Outsider says, when they couldn't... don't get me started on the Inhumans.
Oh, so bad.
When they couldn't do the Inhumans properly, how can they get the Eternals right? They couldn't.
Good point. They could. Well, and it didn't help that they got a garbage director for it. I mean, a director who's unsuited, put it that way, unless you want an Anatomy Award. But
yeah. The Inhumans was... it was just...
terrible.
Why did they even spend the money?
I don't think they spent much money.
Yeah. When they shaved Medusa's hair, that's where I turned off on it.
I should have. That's when I wanted to turn it off. That was like the first or second, I don't know, whatever, or maybe the first episode. I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't you just guys not even have her on the show if you're going to do that? That's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful lady, too. It's like, what is wrong with you idiots?
Yeah.
That is fundamentally, like, it's sort of like, it's similar to that stupid X-Men Origins movie where they take Deadpool's mouth, when they shut his mouth, when they took his mouth away. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I really didn't. I really haven't caught much of the X-Men movies. I think I might have watched the original one.
Right. I don't like them much.
And then the second one where they tried to kill everybody, and I said, nah, I'm getting out of it.
Now, I don't like them much, but I don't really like the X-Men as much either. But Wolverine's X-Men Origins is the one where everyone famously talks about how Ryan Reynolds is playing Deadpool in those. And Deadpool, as you may, even if you don't know the characters, he's supposed to be always, making jokes and cracking jokes and stuff. The Merc with the mouth, they called him.
Yeah.
In that movie, they sewed his mouth shut.
Ugh.
So I'm like, but wait a minute, he's called the Merc with the mouth. He says stupid jokes and speaks to the audience and all this kind of crap. And I was like, so Medusa, her hair is like supposed to be, you guys know her hair is her superpower, right?
Right.
You guys know that why are you cutting it? Well, because we can't afford it. Okay, well, then why put her in the movie, in the show?
Yeah, exactly.
It is moronic on so many levels. These people are idiots, man. Of course, they made She-Hulk, so. Yeah,
true. I didn't even see that one. As much as I like Tatiana Maslany, I didn't even see that one.
Good, because you won't like her if you watch this, because she's insufferable.
Oh, no.
I thought so anyway.
Phantom Outsider says, in the comics it said that Makari was a name humans had difficulties with. as in humans called him Mercury. Yeah.
Well, that movie was so bad, dude.
Brian Hepburn, I just shook my head when they introduced Hank Pym after changing the origin of Ultron. Oh, yeah. Why bother taking it seriously?
As much as I do love the Avengers movies and that, even Age of Ultron, that's the thing I hated most was everything. Look, I love Robert Downey Jr., Stark, and all that stuff, but them changing, and it wasn't Joss Whedon's a jerk, but it's not his fault. This was Favreau and Feige and these other people. I mean, I know he had something to do with it. I hate that they changed Ultron's origin from Tony. Everything's always going to be about Tony Stark. It's the Stark Wars. I hate that they did that to Hank Pym and took it away from Ultron's or him out of Ultron's origin. I love the movie Avengers Age of Ultron. Most people don't. I actually love it, but
it was a good movie.
It's still wrong that they did that.
Hank Pym created Ultron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes me sick that they did that. I hate it, but they didn't give me a say in it.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Casey Osowski.
Hey.
Welcome, sir. He says, I want to thank you for standing up and calling this stuff out. If we don't, they'll keep crapping on us.
That's a fact.
And it's Comic Relief Crusader says it's like plucking out Cyclops' eyes. You don't do it. Oh, don't get me started on the X-Men. I turned out on the X-Men a long time ago, and then starting to hear all this crap about immortal X-Men, they got Mars, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, they don't, I don't know. But then again, these things are usually done by people that have no regard for the comics, and then they're not fans of the comics, these movies. So, well, why would they? They don't care.
Yeah.
And I always love it when they go, "Oh, I was a real fan of the character." Then you do all kind of crap. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're not that big. You can't be that big of a fan of the character if you change this or you change that. Or what are you doing? You're not that. I don't believe you when you say you're a fan. I'm gatekeeping you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Right now, I've been what the? Oh, yeah, Phantom.
Yeah, that's don't. I hope they don't. They won't go there because it would take too much time.
Yeah.
Because he was when he was, in the Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, true. And Comic Relief says, "Don't start on She-Hulk." Yeah, no, we're moving on. And then there's DC. They're not any better. I've long since signed out on DC. I don't know when was the last time I got. I think the only possibly decent DC franchises are Green Lantern and possibly The Flash. They're the ones I've actually at least shown of an interest in lately. But, staying away. I've stayed away from Superman and Batman based on what they're doing to them.
You mean you talking about buying them in regular comics?
Yeah.
Have you been buying those comics?
No, I have not.
Oh. Okay, because nowadays it's sad, but when people talk about superheroes, you have to actually ask, you mean the comic or the movie? They used to be comic book characters. Now they're movie characters. So you got to, yeah. But it's like the James Gunn announcement yesterday. I'm sure you heard all about it.
No, I haven't.
James Gunn came out with this big announcement for his plan, which was really weird. That's all that everyone was talking about yesterday. His announcement for his DC universe going forward.
Mm-hmm.
It was puzzling. It was weird, and I don't. It's tough to know what to think of it. It's kind of strange, but one of the things he came out talking about they're doing a Creature Commandos animated series, which fine. I mean, I have nothing against the Creature Commandos. It's kind of a weird choice. He talked the movie's going to be called Superman Legacy. That kind of concerns me, but
yeah,
that's coming out 2025. But one of the other projects he came out with, he said, I can't remember. I think this is going to be a series. It's called Lanterns, and not Green Lanterns, just Lanterns. He said it's going to have multiple. I don't know why he just called it Green Lantern Corps, but that's just me. He's Yeah, it was puzzle. It was a puzzling announcement. I found it puzzling as well, Joe Dredd.
Oh, so they're actually
But we'll see what he said. It's gonna be like a detective Green Lantern detective show.
oh, lovely.
I don't know what to think about that. Of course, he wasn't
Yeah.
very, and he got the stupid, But you got to the movie's coming out before his stuff. Like you got the next Shazam. You've got that stupid Flashpoint Flash movie or whatever with
Mhm.
3 different Batman in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is the James Gunn universe different than what's on HBO, like with the Doom Patrol and Titans?
Yes, it's gonna be. He's starting over. Once they're gonna call anything not James Gunn Elseworlds.
Ugh.
So he announced the Creature Commandos cartoon animated series Amanda Waller series instead of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Well, this Amanda Waller is going to have her series that takes place in between season 1 and 2 of that, which I don't know why. I don't know who needed an Amanda Waller series. I'm not sure who wants that. He announced a show. I mean, I think a movie called Brave and the Bold. It's going to be Batman and Damian Wayne, which I hate. He meant a Supergirl movie, or is it a series? I can't remember now. Maybe a series or a movie based on some stupid Tom King garbage. So I don't know if it's going to be Kara Zor-El in the movie or not. Lanterns, a Swamp Thing movie, and a Booster Gold movie.
A Booster Gold movie.
Right. Now, I think it's maybe a movie or a sequel. Again, I mean, excuse me, a series. I'm fuzzy on those. I have to double check them. But anyway, point being, that's some of the stuff he announced. I'm like, Superman needs to come first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to do Batman, but don't do Batman with Damian Wayne. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like even between Marvel and DC, it sounds like they've decided to. I mean, Iron Man. Going back to Marvel, Iron Man was a B-lister.
He was
a B-lister,
but they changed that.
Yeah, they made him an A-lister. I mean,
which is fine.
The A-list was Cap, the Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. Those are the A-list. Everybody else is pretty much B.
Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Somebody, they were the Spider-Man and Wolverine were the 2 biggest. The FF used to be part of the A-list, but now who knows what list they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Cap was up there at least, but their 2 biggest was Spider-Man and then Wolverine were the 2 most famous. At that point, the 2 most popular characters,
right,
of Marvel.
And then Marvel decided
Hulk
to make
was close.
Yeah, Hulk. So it sounds like DC's doing the same thing. Their movies are focusing on C-listers, from what you're telling me.
Well, you got Superman. That's going to be the first official one, which makes sense, and it should be. They just need to do it right.
Mm-hmm. Will they do it right?
Sorry about that. Comic Relief Crusader. He said he asked me on last night, but I was already on the other one with I was already on with Tom and those guys. I'm sorry. I would have been happy to. Like I say, how much I stream, buddy. So I apologize to you for that. But it is puzzling. It's just because the Batman, when you think, okay, fine, another zillionth Batman movie, but you're going to put Damian Wayne in it. Who likes Damian Wayne?
No one.
I hate him. I mean,
if it's a Batman, you need. If it's a Batman, you need either
Dick Grayson at least.
At least Dick Grayson. Legata says the Flash comics have been good. The Minute War they are doing right now is interesting.
Okay, I said I don't read any modern comics, and I know you don't either. Yeah. But they've got this. So the things coming out that are not considered the James Gunn universe, as they say, are the next Shazam movie, War of the Gods, or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2, Electric Boogaloo, The Flash, Flashpoint, Drivel, Blue Beetle. There may be another one that I'm forgetting, but
is he doing a Wonder Woman 3?
That we don't know yet. And again, that's what we think. Since Henry Cavill's out, and they're not going to be bringing any of the other people back, we don't even know if there's going to be a The Batman 2. They keep saying there is, but I don't know if there is, because I hear that the writer and director of the first one are working on another movie right now. So I don't know. So Wonder Woman 3 doesn't look good. Doesn't look like it's going to have. 2 is so bad and did not do well, obviously.
Yeah. I didn't even see that one because I've heard that it was just so cringe. The concept was just so bizarre and cringy.
Yeah. The Swamp Thing, again, could be good. So I didn't like that last Swamp Thing TV series. A lot of people liked it. I hated it. I thought it was just such a poser of a show that never went anywhere.
Hello, Cobalt, Bald Eagle.
Cobalt,
he's looking forward to the.
Is that a show or a movie? Cobalt, I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not. I mean, that's something I would look at, but I didn't like the last one they did. But who knows? Maybe this one will be okay.
They missed Stephanie Brown as one of the Robins, but I liked her better as the spoiler and as one of the Batgirls.
Yeah. The Batgirls will always be Barbara Gordon to me, so I don't care about anything else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know she's Oracle. Booster Gold with Ted Kord's Blue Beetle would be a great way to introduce the Justice League International. I'm with you.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I'd love to see a Booster and Beetle show, but you got Blue Beetle movie coming out. See, that Blue Beetle movie coming out may or may not be good, but the Booster show is gone. Everything that I just told you about that's coming out before Superman they're going to call it Elseworlds, because it's not James Gunn stuff. And he was just talking about that stuff as a courtesy that's coming out. Again, the Creature Commandos doing an animated series of that. I don't really understand why they picked that. I have nothing against it. I have nothing. I mean, except it looks like they're doing a modern iteration. It's like,
yeah, because that's like D-list. They're D-listers.
Yeah, they can't even
from
make
the 50s.
D was from the 80s, but still, D. I mean, like, go lower than D. They're E, maybe F.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. They're from real weird war tales. They did an animated short of them a few years ago. One of those, those DC animated movies. They had a Creature Commando short. Hey there, Dad, man, and they were on Batman Brave and the Bold. Man. My favorite show, Batman Brave and the Bold. They popped on there once.
Yeah. Cobalt says it's going to be a show.
A show, okay. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see.
But I would love to see Ted Kord.
Oh yeah. Now, it was Ted Kord in the Charlton days, right?
Yes. The original Golden Age Blue Beetle was a guy named Dan Garrett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Charlton, and then later 80s DC when they absorbed the Charlton characters, that's Ted Kord. Okay. He had his own series, and then he and Booster became friends in Justice League International.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then they murdered him. DC murdered him.
Uh-huh.
In fact, they had Maxwell. What was it? Max Lord murdered him.
Yeah. Yeah, Max. Yeah, it's.
Then Wonder Woman murdered him.
Yeah. Say that again?
Then Wonder Woman murdered him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that. Hello, Dad Man. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Dad Man.
Let's see.
I'll be on him, talking some football with him on Friday night.
Who are you rooting for?
I'd like to see KC do it. I mean, I'm from down here. We all like Joe Burrow a little bit, so I was kind of disappointed the Bengals didn't get back. But I like Mahomes and KC and stuff, and Andy Reid going back to beat the Eagles, the place where they, where they booed Santa Claus. I'm going to pull for the Chiefs. You?
I don't know. Once my Packers got voted after their free fall, I looked at who was left, and being from Cleveland, the closest I went was the Cincinnati, but then they're out, so I can't find anybody. I'm not a big fan of either of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily one either, but I don't like the Eagles. I know friends who are Eagles fans. Sorry, I'm Just don't like. Oh yeah, there's the other one. Joe's Dread didn't point out. They're doing a movie of The Authority for some damn reason. Hey, Lord Dawson's here.
Yes, hello, Lothoff.
Avon lives. Long live the Legion, buddy.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So The Authority. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a Wildstorm. It's usually old. It's. I don't understand what they're doing that for. The Authority is sort of. There's a similarity to that. You know that stupid show, The Boys, that a lot of people like.
Yeah. I've never
based on
seen
a comic.
it.
It's based on a comic that I never cared for, but a lot of people really like it, which is fine. The Authority was before that. That's similar to that. I think the DC idiots were sitting there saying, "Do we have anything like that Boys show?" And they just Wildstorm owns. DC owns the Wildstorm imprint, and Wildstorm was there was a comic called Stormwatch that later spun off some of its characters into a book called The Authority in 1999 or 2000 or whatever. And it was basically they're superpowered beings, but they're not really superheroes. They're dictators. They decide the governments don't know what the hell they're doing, so they use their powers to just start ruling everything and kill anybody they don't like. It was a good comic, okay, but it's not superhero stuff. I don't understand why in the hell James Gunn wants to do this, other than he's an edgelord, I guess. And I never, like I said, I know what you mean. I guess Comic Relief Crusader says he never liked The Authority. I read it and thought it was kind of okay because I got having it shoved in my face back then how much I need to read it. And I read it and I kind of thought it was all right, but it just wasn't. It's not really my thing.
Yeah.
So
Phantom Outsider says the reason for The Authority, one word, representation.
Yes, because there's a couple in the book. In the Authority, the Superman Batman ciphers for the thing because they're like a twisted, almost Justice League type thing. Superman and Batman, those two guys are a couple. If you see what I'm saying. So representation is exactly what he's talking about.
What's this, Maddie or Maddie's daddy? Let someone else talk for a change, huh? I don't know.
I don't know.
So.
It's because I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Legata says, I dislike their team ups with Superman and them being involved in the entire War World story arc last year. Yuck.
Yeah, The Authority got didn't it get blended into the DC universe at some point? I don't know because I didn't read it. If it did, I think they did though. Yeah, if I remember, and they're just they had crossovers and crap like that. Yeah, it's just they have a character called Apollo. He's basically Superman, and a Backsider. He's basically sort of their Batman. And Apollo and Midnighter are married.
Oh,
isn't that just lovely to make a movie like that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, what do you think? Are there any good comics out there?
Comics?
Yeah.
There's one I kind of liked a couple of weeks ago. The first comic I bought in over a year, almost a year. It's called Avengers: War Across Time. The first issue came out. It's written by the great Paul Levitz, the greatest Legion writer of all time, with art by the excellent, the great Alan Davis. And it's an Avengers
I saw
comic.
the arts on the cover.
Well, yeah, it's got he did a great job on the art on the inside. I got the first issue a couple weeks back, and it's an Avengers story that takes place in the Silver Age. And so far, it was a pretty interesting start. It's 5 issues. It's not cheap, but I got it because it's nice to see. And Paul Levitz, our favorite Legion writer, he never got a chance to write any Marvel stuff. So now's his chance, and he's writing an Avengers story with Davis art. And I had to have that. And
nice.
I enjoy it. So far, we'll see where it goes, but I like the first issue. And so I'm actually buying a modern comic because I won't buy anything else.
Wow.
One of my all-time favorite comics, Astro City, which I love, ended about they stopped discontinuing for about like 4 or 5 years ago, and then last year they came out with one issue, and so I had to have it. That was the first new comic I'd bought in years, and then of course it was just that one, and I could do another one for God knows how long, years probably, but I'll buy that when it comes out. But other than that,
Okay. Gosh, I lost my train.
Sorry about that.
Oh no. It was a comic strip or comic series that I was thinking about, and then it disappeared. Oh well, it'll come back to me probably after the stream.
Way it goes. I know that feeling.
Yep. Let's see. Oh yeah. I know you. I know you did. You don't. You checked out on the FF, but did you even think about looking at that quote unquote reckoning war with the Watchers?
No, I didn't even follow anything about it. I can't. Like I said, after I did my 13 issues back in 2018, when they gave them their first title that they'd had for years, which is such a disgrace that there was ever a time when there wasn't an FF book, whether I liked it or not.
Oh yeah.
So I went back. I think we talked about this, and I had a friend of mine. I did a show about it. A buddy of mine that I'm friendly with on Facebook that helps me. He's part of my Facebook Clobberin Times group. And I don't know him that well, but I know this guy's the ultimate Fantastic Four fan. He's the Fantastic Four authority. Great dude, and we're friendly with it. I had him on my show a couple times, and I had him on there, and he was excited to have a book back no matter what. And he asked me, "Look, at least give it 12 issues." So I gave it 13, only because 12 continued into 13. It was a Thing Hulk crossover.
Oh, the fight, fight between the Thing and the
right. If you call it that, and all except for I kind of like the idea of Ben and Alicia tying the knot. Other than that, I just despised all of it. The writing, a lot of the dumb additions, a lot of the things that have been going on in the books even before that they were recapping, and the crappy art, and so I just realized that this book's passed me by, and they're gonna do their own thing with it. That's not my FF anymore, and I had to just come to terms with that.
Yeah. Okay. I know we talked about this before. Outside of the Kirby Lee stint, which run of the FF would you say is probably the second best?
I'd probably say second best to that would probably be Burns' first couple of years on the book. I think again when he came, not his first when he first did the book, he didn't write it, but I mean, to the FF 232 when he came back and wrote, and even though I wish he hadn't inked himself, wrote and drew and inked it for about a year or two or so, or a little bit more. It was a solid, really well done. It was back to basics as he called it. I really thought that was pretty good. And then I think he just got terrible on the book personally for me.
Oh yeah.
I loved the Perez Senate run, with a couple different writers. I think it was Roy Thomas, and which probably means George would have been coming up with most of the stories. The George Perez stuff of the 70s on there, of course, was really great. With Roy Thomas and again Marv Wolfman later. I actually kind of like the Marv Wolfman Joe Sinnott run for a short, which was fairly brief. I mean, it was Wolfman and Byrne and Sinnott when they wrapped up Wolfman's Nova storyline when they fought the Sphinx.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I love the John Buscema, Joe Sinnott. As a pattern, there's always Joe Sinnott. Yeah. Rich Buckler run. George.
Well,
Perez.
Wasn't it always said that Sinnott would make Kirby's worst stuff look really good?
I've never heard that said. I just know that Sinnott makes everybody look. It gives it a familial FL look, because he took over FF around issue number 40 something or other and inked. From then on, nobody has inked more pages or been involved in any more Fantastic Four comics than him, because he inked it throughout all the pencilers. It came back later even. So, I mean, they had a lot of inkers before him on the book, but I mean, Chick Stone was great. A couple of them were really good, but Sinnott had a certain. I'll say this: he left the mark on it. The other, with John Buscema, Rich Buckler, George Perez, Keith Pollard, John Byrne, even Bill Sienkiewicz. He inked them all, and it had a certain Kirby feel to it, because he and Kirby had a similar outlook on the FF, I would say.
Let's see. The guy says the only Marvel product I miss was their run on the original Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian magazines. I tried the Dark Horse and Marvel more recently stuff, and they just missed the mark.
Yeah, I remember looking at number of years ago, looking at the just in passing, looking at a comic shop, looking at a couple of the Conan covers on the Dark Horse ones and stuff. And Conan's, I mean, this didn't last long. I'm not, but there were a couple times where Conan was like a skinny little wafy dude, I mean, he looked, well, I mean, well, to be honest, he looked like kind of a girl. A couple times I'm like, yeah, Conan, the barbarian, he's making him look like a little wimp because that's what they were kind of experimenting with that for a while. But the Howard estate, doesn't put up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Marvel doesn't have Conan anymore. I think they lost Conan.
Oh, okay.
I think Titan or somebody got him. And there are comics coming out called the Sumerian that are Conan, but they just don't call it that on the title. And they're all trying to be more like Conan. But I think Marvel lost Conan, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Hello, Drinks and Opinions. Welcome, another newcomer. Unless he's on here in another name, because he says on this name while my video process.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah. Who can beat the old Conan stuff?
Oh yeah, I love the Barry Windsor Smith, John Buscema, Alfredo Alcala, Gil Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff.
Oh, okay. It's Dark Helmet. Okay, cool.
Let's
see. Yes, please hit that like button. So what are they doing other than this so-called movie Lanterns? What has the comic been? The last Green Lantern episode comic series I got the graphic novel. I got the graphic novel where Green Lantern joins up with the New Gods. I thought that was cringe.
Was that recent or something? Because I don't buy anything recent anymore, like I was saying. So is that something that's recent?
I forgot when it is. I'd have to check on the date on it. But it was a combined Green Lantern New Gods thing where the New Gods wanted to beat Darkseid and they wanted the rings. And I'm like, come on, really?
I know not of it.
Yeah. Probably best that you didn't.
So yeah, Green Lantern. Love Green Lantern, but
Oh yeah. I did like the movie. I thought stunk to high heaven.
Yes.
Even though my stepson gave me a stand-up of Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, which I still have, but I still thought it stunk to high heaven. I did like the CGI animated series. That was good.
I love it. That's a great show. 26 episodes. That should have been a whole hell of a lot more episodes.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the idea of them flying in a spaceship, kind of like, they don't need a stinking spaceship.
They had to go so far out, though.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it made sense because they got sent way, way, way out into space to investigate the Red Lanterns. It worked for me. It was fine. They even turned Aya into a pretty good character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was.
But I understand. I mean, Green Lanterns, that's a dangerous power when you think of it. It's got all these powers, but if you don't recharge, that's part of the stakes of being in Green Lantern. I mean, Lanterns are like cops, and they die a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They get killed a lot. So it's it's far more dangerous than. Well, I mean, it's always dangerous being a superhero, but that's because think about it, something happens to you way, way out in space
with no battery,
and stuff. It's pretty dangerous stuff there.
Yeah, but at least they got rid of the yellow, the
yellow impurity. They parallax.
Oh, I love that. I loved how they did that.
I loved how that I was in the '90s, in the early '90s, when they turned Hal Jordan into evil parallax.
Uh-huh.
I hated it so much and I hate Kyle Rayner. So when they did what they did to the Green Lantern Corps, what they did to Hal Jordan, that and other things, that kind of chased me away from DC Comics for the most part for about 12 years, almost throughout the whole 90s and into the 2000s. And then when Jeff Johns with Rebirth came back, brought Hal Jordan back and fixed it, basically repaired the damage by bringing him back, separating him from Parallax, finding out what Parallax really was. That brought me back to DC for a good while there when they were doing a lot of pretty good comics at that point. And so in the 2000s, up to around 2011, when they unfortunately gave us the Screw 52, there were some pretty good comics. So I was buying a lot of good DC stuff, including Green Lantern, the Green Lantern titles, Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. So with Johns and stuff like that, that was a really good time for Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's see.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Let's see. Comic Relief Crusader says, yes, BWF when he was Barry Smith, when he was asked to draw like Kirby back in the day before he was part of the studio.
Yeah, when he came over from the other across the pond as Barry Smith, and a lot of his early work was just him aping Kirby.
Released here a little bit. It wouldn't let me do it earlier.
Okay.
He developed a great style of his own, though. Became one of the greats.
Yep. Yeah.
Love him. I love Barry Windsor Smith. One of my favorites.
Legatus. Oh, I agree with you, Legatus. I hated most of the New 52 and not liking what the Dawn of the DC is doing as well. Is that new where the Justice League is dead and Nightwing is the salvation of the universe?
Don't ask me. I don't read any of that modern crap. I hated all of the Screw 52 and left DC after that, and I've never bought a DC mainstream title. I bought other stuff, but any mainstream book now, they never got me back, even with their. I don't like anything that did Rebirth, any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You got me there, brother.
Hello, Daryl Brewer.
Hey.
Oh, let's see.
DC is. Well, they're both. I mean, they're the same. They're both the same thing. Marvel and DC are. They've always been, and here's the thing: people always try to make differences or differentiate between the what they call the big two. The fact is, Marvel and DC have always been pretty much the same. They've been run the same way. I mean, there are differences, sure, but their characters, even when you boil it down, aren't even all that different. Some people like to say that the fan bases are different. With movies, maybe like the DC fans are a lot. There are a lot of DC fans that are very, very committed, and some of them are cultist like, and some of them like the Snyders and people like that. But comics wise, they're not all that different. They really weren't. People like to make too much of the quote unquote differences between Marvel comics and DC comics. And right now, historically, they're not even that different. But now they're just the same.
Yeah. Comic Relief Crusader says he hates how he bashed John Buscema, though, saying how the book How to Draw the Marvel Way should be burned. Lost respect for him then.
He's not the only one to say that. I don't agree with him because I love John Buscema as well. I think he's trying to say, and look, a lot of artists they resent that you would make a book telling people how to draw comics the Marvel way when it should just be draw comics.
Yeah.
I mean, you should just, it shouldn't be any how to. You should just, do it your own way and stuff. He doesn't like that there's a cookie cutter corporate, assembly line way to draw comics. That's what I think Barry Windsor Smith objects to. He's not the only comic artist that said that stuff. He doesn't think there should be a book out there just kind of telling you to do it, just so you can go work as a cog in the machine. Again, at the time when he said that, which was a long time ago. Now, I think these guys would benefit from reading that book. But I'm not saying I agree with Barry Windsor Smith necessarily. I'm just saying a lot of artists felt that way.
Okay. Daryl Brewer, hail Daryl Brewer, asks, what's your thought on Image Comics?
I got to say that the Image guys, I'm not a big fan of all of them that much, but there was something that was tough to dislike about them breaking off from Marvel, using their celebrity to parlay a whole new company where they could create or own their comics. I love everything about that, even though I wasn't a big fan of Rob Liefeld that much, or Jim Lee that much, or Mark Silvestri or Jim Valentino. Those guys, nevertheless, they did something that was pretty important at the time. They founded a company where they would own their own things, but they got popular because of Marvel, and Marvel was what made them popular. However, they took it and they parlayed it and did something that I wish the guys of the 60s, the Kirbys and the Ditkos and the Wally Woods and the Gil Kanes, had been able to do that once they got out of the 60s into the 70s and start their own company. It just wasn't possible because there wasn't a direct sales market and a comic book market and a comic shop market to do it. 20-something years later, the superstars of the late 80s at Marvel were able to do it in the early 90s with Image, because they built up this big this reputation, and there was a market for it. So I like that they did that. I didn't like a lot of their bigger comics. I liked later some of their other stuff when they got Alan Moore doing things for them. And so I've liked some Image comics over time. Astro City is one of the greatest ever, but I like the idea, the concept that it is creator owned. I think that is important, and that's my basic feelings on Image. I mean, unless it's specifically referring to any Image comics in general. I mean, specifically, or just Image, the concept in general.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Legata says, so much of the artwork and non-variant covers at DC is pure crap.
Oh, yeah.
And
always has been, really.
Last time I had a comic, my only one was when they killed Superman in the 90s. And I actually have a few of those. I actually have a few still in its wrapper. I'm like,
at that time I was really sick of what they were doing to Superman, so I didn't buy it. I wasn't buying the book regularly, except at the time I was married, and my wife did read the regular Superman comics, so I had to buy her that issue. And I didn't like what they were doing with Superman for years at that point, but I bought it for her. But anyway, when that first Death of the Superman issue came out, number 75, the bagged edition, I went into my friend's comic shop. He let me go to the front of the line because there were lines around the block to buy it. And I went in there and I bought that, and then I just kind of took it out. I opened mine up and I looked at it. So this is crap. I tore it up and I stuck it back in the bag. But I kept the black armband that came with it, though. And hung it for my rearview mirror.
Yeah. Well, I got a couple of them still in the bag, and I actually got the graphic now, the combined series of it, and I'm saying I agree with you. It's kind of bleh. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Comic Relief Crusader says, I had no idea there was so much feuding within the comic industry until later on. Such a shame to just draw comics and have fun doing them.
Oh, yeah. But all human endeavor has feuding and people disagreeing and fighting. That's just the way it is. But, there was a lot of it, too, dude. So I'm a big fan of comic book history. I'm no historian, but I read a lot over the past 40 some odd years. Is something that I like reading. I like reading all the behind the scenes stuff, the Comics Journal and the all the different fan publications. Or not so much fan public, just the publications about comics. My favorite stuff is Tomorrow's. I love comics history, and the comics field is full of that stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, this was great.
Did you want me to answer that question that Legatus had about?
Yeah. Okay.
About
yeah. What do you think of all the variant covers they're pushing out now? With some titles issues having 5 to 8 variants, talk about gouging the customers. Yeah. I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I hate variant covers. They are just stupid.
I think it's ridiculous, but you know what? People keep buying them, and I don't understand it. I can't think of one time I ever said, even though I'll go, wow, that is a pretty nice cover. They're really nice. If I want this comic, I want one of them. I might, if there's multiple covers there, I might, I'll take this. Cool. This is a nice cover. I'll take that one. If it's the same price, cover price, not if it's more. And some of them are more, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But, because they batch them and you get so many with each mini order, which is, so the dealer has to raise the price. But if it's normal price, I'll buy it. But I think it's absolutely ludicrous. It's makes me sick that they do that. I'm like, man, look, if you think your comic needs that to sell, and the thing is, though, whether we like it or not, for some real, just ridiculous reason, it does work because people will buy these damn things. Now, sometimes I get, since one or two, maybe one or three, I don't like it, but I get, maybe that's not so bad. But they do 5 and 6 and 8. What was it, that Star Wars comic when Marvel got it back in 2015? There was over 100 something different covers. Now we know nobody bought all of them. I mean, if there's one Joker out there that bought all of them, I mean, that person isn't. Well, they must be rich, but
Yeah,
I just don't get it. You got the interior is what matters with a comic book. We all like a nice cover, but come on.
Yeah, for completionists, it's a must, and the variants are usually $1 more because of the cover.
Sometimes more than that, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
It's Dynamite's a big offender of that. I mean, Marvel and DC do it, of course. They all do it. IDW and a little bit, but Dynamite's the worst. They're unbelievable with those covers.
Drinks and Opinion says the current state of comics is really bringing out the independent comic creators.
That it is, which is usually the case. That happens every time. Of course, now that there's no real thriving comic book industry. It doesn't exist. It's not a healthy, thriving industry. There are people selling a few comics, and manga, of course, is, and a lot of some of the crowdfunders are doing well. But there's nothing like that. But even when there was a thriving comic book industry, whether it was 60s or the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, the independent creators were always able to make some bank because people used to get tired of the stagnation of the mainstream stuff. So that does help.
Okay.
As long as there's a market. See, there's not much of a market anymore. So.
Yeah. Well, it seems like comics are like an infomercial for the big screen movies.
Well, right now that's all they're for. They're facilitating movies. That's exactly right. Comic books now are these. I mean, because no one. Look, let's face it. Whether we like it, no one even really buys them. I mean, if they were good, they wouldn't be selling that much. But now that you make them horrible, it just makes it even worse. But even if they were actually fairly decent, video games would still just own it, and so would movies and stuff. Because, but it could do better. I mean, in other words, it's not like this zero market; just it's a tiny one.
Let's see. Yeah, to me, the closest I equate to the comics is like wrestling. You've got in the 70s, the TV versions were always infomercials for the pay-per-view, and then you've got SmackDown and Raw as infomercials for the pay-per-views. That's all they are.
Yeah, indeed.
At Clobberin, go get the Akira series by Katsuhiro Otomo for a great read.
I'm not much into manga personally. The only manga I ever really liked was Lone Wolf and Cub back when they were Dark Horse was reprinting those with the Frank Miller covers. I bought those in the 90s quite a bit, but 80s, 90s, whatever, or both. And but I remember I sold a lot of Akira comics, but yeah, I mean, I respect manga a lot. I have many of my dear friends and my son, of course, he's a huge manga fan. But I never really read it that much. I never got into the manga stuff. I totally respect it though.
Okay.
And I'm glad it's kicking American comics arse all over the place.
Yeah. Let's see. Legatus. Yeah. Comic Relief says, trust me, you'll like it, I think. And Legatus, I agree. That's why you need good stories, like the Dolphin Wars.
Of course. When's the comic of that coming out? When's the comic of the
I gotta find somebody, at least to come up with
an artist.
Yeah, I'm not an artist. I don't claim to be an artist. Even my stick figures look horrible.
Same deal here.
The story, I've got one discussion going on. I just got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. But right now, I'd like to get my third one out there, and then probably do some, do a comic. Do a comic of it, but I gotta find out the concept and then find somebody. Like I said, I'm talking to somebody, and that someone is here. But yeah, I've got some ideas.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
So, all right. I know you've got to get going because you've got another of your plethora of
Two more shows
your plethora of streams. So I think we'll wrap this up.
All right.
And yes, it's time, guys. Clobby, don't kill me. Don't kill me.
I'm about to kill. Should I really not kill him, everyone?
It is time for show notes. Oh, what's this? They announced a King of the Hill. They announced a King of the Hill reboot. I'm not going to watch with today's writers.
Yeah, but if it's Mike Judge, you're safe.
Yeah, true.
If it's not Mike Judge, no, don't watch it. But if it's Mike Judge, he brought back Beavis and Butthead, and it's fantastic. I love it. So no, you're safe. That's one is safe. But yes, Joseph, if Mike Judge's not doing it, then don't go near it.
Yeah. All right. So yes, it's show notes time. Let us. I think you're gonna like this, Clobby. You've got a sense of humor. I think you're gonna like this.
I never laugh at anything ever.
I'm
I'm totally serious. You humans have and your humor.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. With Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. Done.
And there's show notes.
Who's she?
I don't know. That's yeah. I think I've gotten a lot of hate mail from Elizabeth Berkley since that came out.
Yeah, see, well, I get mail from her every day. It's not a big deal. Everyone.
All right. Well, excuse me. So this Sunday, we're doing it Sunday because I'm out of town on Saturday. We're going to have Just Cuz. Same time. If I get back in time, it'll be at 5 o'clock Eastern. And we'll have our usual shenanigans, madness, and strangeness. On the 8th, I'm going to have a musician, Clobberin Miller, come on a week from today, and we'll talk about his music. On the 10th, it is going to be, because it's Valentine's weekend or pre-Valentine's weekend, we're going to have Ladies' Night on the 10th. It's going to be all ladies. I'm going to be in the background. And yes, Fed for Hire did something that I hope will not see the light of day ever again. He did a screenshot for that. Now, of course, he's going to watch it, and I'm going to be scared. On the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, Anti-Derivative Jill and I are going to talk about DS9's romances. What we do, Jill and I, we don't review episodes. We go into concepts about Deep Space Nine. I mean, gotcha. we don't want to get into you and Raquel's thunder. So we just go our own thing and talk about contents. So we're going to be talking about the big 3 DS9 romances.
Do you say "oh, Miles" a lot like she does?
Oh, no. That is going.
We should give you that soundbite so you can play it every time one of you mentions Keiko. Oh, Miles.
Oh, Miles. No, I was telling Jill, and she never saw MASH. I was talking to her last night. We were doing a rehearsal, and You probably watched the last episode of MASH.
Oh, everybody's seen MASH. Yeah, I know she's on there.
And she was just as bad there. I mean, it was
She's
like
annoying, huh?
Yeah, she was just as annoying.
She never bugged me as much. Don't tell Raquel. Don't tell Raquel, everybody. She didn't bug me as much as she bugged Raquel, but I would not trade anything for the world. Her making fun of Keiko is hilarious. Hey, Jill.
Hi, Jill. How you doing? She had to go to a school event.
Her making fun of Keiko is the best. It makes me cry laughing every time. She really can't stand her, man. Wow. I love you, Raquel. I'm not making fun of you. Yes, I am making fun of you because you're my first officer, and that's an order. I get to make fun of you.
Yeah. Snort Poopa says, O'Brien must suffer. Yes.
Poor old O'Brien.
Yeah. Yeah, poor O'Brien. And so, hello, Jill. She would have been here earlier. She had to go to a school event.
Well, how dare you?
Yeah, school events are if you want
school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard of those things. I've never been to one.
On the 22nd, we're gonna have Stephanie Janicek comes to visit us again.
Oh, okay.
Steph. Yeah.
Steph's a pal of mine.
Yeah. We'll talk, get some updates from the Smuggler's Cantina. And on March 1st will be we'll be doing Radio King Dolphin TV month. We will be starting with a story from Pudgy Adventures on March 1st. And then Jill and I will be doing readings from All's Fair and then there'll be another Pudgy story. So it's all Radio King Dolphin TV in March. So look forward to that. And Comic Relief Crusader says The Lament of Miles O'Brien. Oh dear. And it wasn't that bad in Next Generation. You just didn't see much of him.
Right. Yeah. True.
So, but
I don't know. She did threaten to not. Remember, she didn't threaten to not marry him when everybody. She caused all kind of crap about not wanting to marry him at that last moment and stuff. She started out bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I guess they don't know how to write for her because, like I said, she Klinger's girl. She was Klinger's girlfriend, and She runs away on Klinger, and goes out into the middle of a war zone to look for her family. I'm like, come on, really?
Was she on Aftermash?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was on Aftermash.
Yeah.
I don't remember how she was there. I didn't watch much of that series.
Didn't last long.
No, it didn't.
I did watch some of it, but
yeah. So
not many people did.
Yeah, true. O'Brien was the best chief engineer.
I'm a Scotty guy personally, but O'Brien and Tripp are right up there close to him with me. I like Tripp the best, but I love O'Brien. So
yeah, O'Brien. Yeah,
but I'm a Scotty man through and through.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Scotty. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
No, yes, indeed.
Yeah,
but I have no trouble at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tripp was good too. Yeah. Yes, he was.
I love Tripp.
Yeah, Tripp was good. So, okay. Clobby, this was great. I enjoyed this. We're going to...
Cool. Let's do it again.
Yes, we will definitely do it again. We'll definitely do it again. Let's say good night to the chat, those who came in, those who were probably lurking, and those that will probably listen to the playback. And actually, we had a pretty good showing here.
Yeah, good to see you all. Thanks for joining us, my friends. Great. Hail to you all, my friends in the chat. And to the great Raymond, thanks for having me, buddy. And the lovely Sandra for putting up with both of us.
Yes. Okay, so we had our amazing wrenches who kept order in the chaos. We had Sandra again in the background as the producer. We had Anti-Derivative Jill, who is driving, so she can't tag, but she's here in spirit. We had Carla Burton. Thank you for coming, and hope to see you on Saturday, we had like Goddess Legion I, the first in, last out. Thank you, my friend. And it was always fun to have you here. We have the ornerier than average bear. Snort poopas! Cuba! When Raquel came on, she was kind of shocked when I did that, and we all made her do.
Yeah, the way she does it.
Snort poopas to lip sync to mini snort here. So we have that on video. We have go back. The Comic Relief Crusader. Hail the mighty Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you, Wrenches, for doing what you do here on the channel. And of course, the amazing people who came on to listen to the chat. Hold on a second. Yes.
Don't forget you have one more announcement to make. At the private.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, I got it. We've got we had Basil, the Pumpin' Seagull, Brian Hepburn, a newcomer who came on. We had a lot of new people. Casey Osowski, the amazing Casey Osowski. We had Cobalt Bald Eagle. We had Cobalt, say hi to Pudgy. We had the Dan Man walking. We had Daryl Brewer. Drinks and Opinions, also known as Dark Helmets. We had Joseph Dredd. Thank you for coming, my friend. Please like and subscribe, peoples. We had the great Lord Thoth. Thank you for coming, my friend.
Long live the Legion, buddy.
Indeed. We had Maddie's daddy. Say hi to the little one for us.
Hey.
We had Matt G. Wow, a lot of people. I'm not even halfway through. We had Mr. CCDV. We had Phantom Outsider. We had Stuart Mitchell. And that is it. Thank you very much, everybody. And again, Clobberin will be on with Loki tonight, and he will be on his own channel later on tonight.
Half hour on Loki, going on the Loki's channel.
Yeah. And so subscribe to Clobberin Times. And please, he does a lot of good stuff. And he's a great friend to this channel. So please go to his channel and help and subscribe to him. So everybody, stick around afterwards, Clob. Oh, okay. Yes. Now yes, I'm getting pinged and I got a private. Ladies' night will be on February 11th. Saturday, February 11th is Ladies' Night. And for those who need a further reminder, it is Saturday, February 11th. So.
You give them a time?
Yeah, it's going to be probably about 5 Eastern. It's going to be 5 Eastern. And it's going to be hosted by Wendy Webb and a panel
cool.
of the lovely friends to the channel.
Cool.
So it's going to be a good time. The males will be in the audience this time. Yay, you said the 10th by mistake early. I'm sorry, Legatus. It is the 11th. And thank you, Comic Relief Crusader. Let's get King Dolphin TV to 250. Please spread the news and subscribe to these two YouTubers. Yes, please. So, Clobby, once again, it was amazing to have you here. We will do this again. And
indeed.
Thank you. And it's always a great time when we're together. We got to get the Geek Gang back. I know it's probably tough with your schedule.
Yeah, back then everybody was at home in the daytime. Now nobody is really as much. Although it was global, so a lot of people who were there from across the pond, it was fine for them.
Yeah.
But us over here is the trouble. So it's such a mess. But I've thought about it in other ways, but
Yeah.
it was good times. But thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed being on it. No, Carla. Just no. Let's see.
Hey, she's a Red Dwarf fan. Hey, Carla.
Yeah.
Love Red Dwarf.
Let's see. Drinks and opinion. King, mind if I put the link to your channel in my description on my videos? They are nothing bad. Yeah, please do. Please do. Or Carla will demand all males to be fully natural like Snort. Okay. Yeah. And there's Clobby's stream tonight. So, all right, guys, we'll see you Sunday. Don't forget, it is Sunday. And have a good week, good rest of the week. Enjoy and be safe.
Good night, everybody.
Night all.
This segment is brought to you by thedolphinboys.com.